browser has lost connection to your camera. Of course.
Mine's fine.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Extra Normal Podcast. My name is Christoph. Alongside me is
Brianna Kaye.
How are you, Brianna Kaye, Miss Kaye?
Well, it has been a week.
It has.
Without going into it, a lot of business issues.
Business dealings. We just got off a gluttony ship, too. We got off of a cruise. We did a little cruise vacation.
Yeah, and
we chose fun.
Ever
Carnival
since then, we've eaten healthy. Except one night.
We ate so bad, like real dirty Americans. Like I had a cheeseburger. It was like a 4-day cruise, and I think I had 8 like full-blown cheeseburgers. Cheeseburger.
I felt like I couldn't even move because I don't typically eat like that, and I just felt horrible.
Yeah, it was disgusting. It was really disgusting, but we made it through. Here we are. I'm just switching my camera. Why is it not? Hold on.
I know. I like how my camera's
I'm going to close all my other apps. Let's see if that's it. Sorry, we're working through the kinks, everybody. The kinks. Bear with us. It's got to be it, right? Okay. Do it live. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. I'm back. Here I am. Back again on my own. Yeah, but no, we went through the whole fucking cruise ship.
Oh man. And it's just like free food that isn't good.
It's got to be chock full of sodium.
But it's still, the thing I like about cruises is that you still have to, like, because you don't have any internet connection, like service for at least a day. For us, it was like 2 days.
Yeah.
It's really cool because it forces you to just not have a cell phone. And it's funny, like I thought, as glued to my phone as I am, because I have so many different Instagrams and TikToks, and just like business inquiries and all that. It was so nice. I didn't miss it.
I didn't miss it either.
Like at all. Like I was just like, oh, I don't have reception. Like sometimes I like to randomly Google shit that comes to my head. But like other than that, like I did not miss it. I enjoyed our vacation.
I wonder, that makes me wonder, do you think what would be the adjustments? So say there was some virus, right? Or something in the air that rendered all cell phones like defunct, right?
Like if there was like a apocalypse,
like web type stuff, like you could still make phone calls, even like lack of. I wonder how the world would adjust. I mean, people would talk about it a lot in person.
I think the hardest thing would be for our youth, because for us it's easy adjustable because we went like I don't want to say almost half of our life. I was like 19 when I got my cell phone, my first cell phone.
Yeah, I've always had cell phones.
But
I'm 20.
But ours were a lot different. It was very basic.
No, we didn't have anything.
Yeah. So I think for us, it was definitely more. We could definitely adjust a lot more than the youth, because it's just like all the things.
Let me ask you. Do you think there's multi factors to us being, like, generally speaking, most parents nowadays being helicopter parents, right? It's just like, if you don't talk to your kid on like text message and stuff, like everybody starts to freak out. Do you think that's by nature of like the tools that we have? Like it's made us more paranoid. Like we have to constantly be in communication with people, otherwise it's like they're off the grid. Like, like it's like.
Well, I think were you the one who said, who brought up a really good point, that social media makes us more lonely.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It makes us isolated because we're in our little bubbles, and it makes us actually communicate.
And it's
Because
like, I
social,
liked your picture and I commented, so we're still communicating.
you're still communicating, but it also is like it's twofold. It's like, right, you're not actually like when you pick up the phone, call someone, or when you like see someone in person, you're having a conversation.
Mhm.
It's not like, oh, like it looks like they're living their best life, like looks like they're like that kind of stuff. It's not really a conversation. So you trick your brain into think that you're still socially active and you're still engaged, but you're not. You're
Mhm.
just liking stuff. Like, and also too, because of the nature of social media and like the one-upsmanship of it, like everybody's fucking living their best life. So like it could be like you could definitely have like a depression in that, like you're seeing people on fucking yachts and all kinds of stuff
Right.
when it's probably not the reality. They probably like had a day trip on
Yeah.
on a yacht and they're fucking fighting with their loved ones. But it's yeah, I think it makes us much more isolated. And we think we nobody actually goes out. Remember, does anybody remember fucking COVID days? Because we live in a neighborhood, we like most of our neighbors. So we were out during COVID and just like
Post.
it was fresh air and it was like hanging out and stuff like that. Those days are done. We're back to like going to work, glued on our cell phone, going here, going there. Like
Mhm.
those community days are done. So we're
Yeah.
back to isolated.
Even on social media, like I connected like on a deeper level with some friends and hairstylists that we had each other's back on information for our industry because we really had an unfair like whole layout how it all went down for the beauty industry. It was pretty fucked up. So like we all came together hard and we were there for each other and and like, we still here and there, but it's not like when we talk, like, every day, and now we've gone into our lives, we have kids, and, I don't really talk to them as much as I would like to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of gone by the wayside. Do you wonder if like I wonder if aliens, they must not, right? They don't have social media. They have obviously internet because they want all the facts at their disposal.
They're
That's the
just
best tools.
telepathic, so they can probably talk to their mom on a different planet. "Hey, mom, miss you,"
But
in their head.
do you think it's not an all knowing godly thing where they could talk to multiple people?
Maybe.
Like they don't
I
have the
don't know.
group chat function in their right? Their
You
telepathy.
hear, like, the remember the old modems? The modem
Could you
sound in your computer
imagine just like
connecting.
I already try to make as many excuses for social settings as I can. Could you imagine trying to think of an excuse why you can't talk right now, like with your brain, like trying to avoid? I can't even imagine.
Oh god, I can imagine. With all the excuses I've been hearing about stupid shit lady lately, it's like
Stupid shit lady.
yeah.
Hey, stupid shit lady. I don't know. I don't think social media is not advanced. I wonder there's there's like a weird.
It's in a sense, there's advancements, I would say, because there's like the idea of how they manipulate and know like what you like to have you
Sure, the
shopped. So
algorithms, sure.
so that is I think to me that is definitely advanced.
It's advanced, but is it making us any smarter? Like
No,
part of the idea
but
behind social media.
the people behind it are smart.
Sure. Part of the idea of social media was like in its naive days, right? Like Facebook was started by like a who's hot. Zach was it Mark Zuckerberg? That's his name.
Do you think he's a robot?
No, I think he's just a weirdo. You know what Facebook started as, right? What the site was originally, right?
Wasn't it something for like fraternities
Yeah, it
or
was like a fraternity, like who's hot on campus. It was rating girls.
weird?
That's how Facebook started. So I know that there was like early on in the social media days, especially with Twitter, because it's this forum, and they thought it was going to be this great space for great thought to get together and people to collaborate on ideas and have this like almost like this forum for innovative thought. And there's some of that, but social media, I mean, it's just basically people trashing each other and trying to cancel each other and trying to like
Yeah.
outdo each other and all that stuff. It's
It's
insane.
it's true. It is true. Um and I fall into that like web sometimes too if like my friends don't, I see them doing something and I'm just kind of like why the fuck didn't they invite me? And then I'm kind of like then I have to stop myself like, "Oh my god, like it's fine. Like we'll get together when we get together."
Totally
And if
fine.
and excuse me. And if they want to post we got together and had fun, that's great. And if they don't, that's fine too. I don't need our friendship exploited anyways. But, I have caught myself doing that, and
Sure, we all
I'm
have.
glad
Yeah.
I can, you know, talk myself down, and that it's not that big of a deal. But there's some people that make it a big deal, and they block people, they stop talking to them. That's happened to me in the past by one of my friends, and I just think that's when you're just like, this is not what it should be about.
We know too much about everything that's going on all the time. Like we are too, like I think we've had this discussion already, but we're too inundated. Like we know everything like that's going on around the world in terms of
Mhm.
news. We know everything that our friends, we have the capability at least to know everything that our friends are up to and our family are up to. We have like capabilities to know all this stuff and catch up on everything. We're too inundated.
Mhm.
We're slammed with information all the time, and also information in social circles. I don't think humans are set up to have that much information at one time. Like I just it's too much.
Yeah,
Too
no,
much.
I totally agree. Do we have some messages coming in over there? I see.
Someone said factos. I don't know what that means.
Oh,
So
I messaged hi. Can you see that I messaged hi? Because it doesn't show up on my screen for some reason.
it's a private chat. Hold on, let me see if I saw that. Private chat, yeah.
Oh, how do you go to regular chat?
Like comments?
Oh, I see. You do that. Yeah, like, but how come I can see the comments?
Because you're not, I don't know, maybe I
I'm
need
not
to
as
make you
cool as you.
admin. You don't have admin access.
Oh,
What do you want me to comment?
what did they say? Fact.
Factos. I don't,
Just give them a thumbs up. Can you do
I don't know if I can do that. Look what I'm doing
that?
now.
What'd you do?
In gold school written for in gold school. Um, there's got to be more sophisticated ways to do this. Hey, I saw an article that I want to pull it up. There was an article that was very interesting to me because it's right up my alley. It was a here we go. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Alien motherships and probes may exist in our solar system, says research by Pentagon official and Harvard professor. So, a Harvard professor who also, I believe, in some capacity works for the Pentagon, he wrote a journal entry that is still being peer reviewed, but he has a hypothesis that um that instead of we think of UFO visitations as like a thing that comes from a different solar system. They travel all the way here, and then they do their ass probing, and then they head out. Right? There's this. Let me find his name because he deserves some credit if he's right. If he's wrong, then fuck that guy. You're wrong, or you're right. Avi Loeb. Um, he's a Harvard scientist, so at least he works at Harvard. I don't know. But he said that there's a possibility that there might be motherships hiding on planets within our solar system. They're sending like mini probes.
And movies about that.
Which movies? Battlefield Earth? Has there
There's
been a movie about
Oh my
that?
god, what was that movie? It's a more modern one, and it was, like, the one where, like
Jumanji?
that's
The
not about
remake?
aliens.
Oh, okay, I don't know.
You'll remember it. I'm horrible with names. It's the one movie where they're, like, almost like robot, like, things that they, like, implanted in the earth, and then at a certain time, they, like, come out.
What?
I don't fucking remember.
What?
I might have been drunk. You don't remember that?
No. If you're
What movie was that? Or maybe was it an alien movie? It might have been that new, Nuance. Remember there was all that like, people were all pissed off because they had, like I think it was, like, a child that was, like, identifying as a they or something, and they
okay.
got all pissed off, and there was, like, superheroes. Was it that movie?
What are you talking?
Oh my god, there was, like, giant aliens, like, in the ground,
Uh-huh.
like, the
Eternals. Wasn't
mother
that like one of the more woke Marvel movies?
that's
Was
yeah, that's
Eternals?
yeah, was it that one? And then
I don't
remember,
know.
like, the big, like
I couldn't muscle through Eternals. It
oh,
just bored
fuck.
it bored the
I
shit
thought
out
it
of
was
me.
good.
I
But
thought
anyways.
I was just bored. I don't know.
It wasn't, like, my all-time favorite, but whatever.
Most of those Marvels, I'm a
But I
guy.
just remember seeing shit like that,
Yeah.
and I believe that, me, like, I believe that aliens live deep in the ocean, like, places where we can't go. I believe they live in Antarctica, places that we can't
But
reach.
I think
I
that's
believe that, like, these
wait, hold
giant
on.
mountains, like,
We have
what's
to
the mountain in China? The big one that we can't go to
I don't know.
that has radiation?
I don't know.
and it kind of looks like a pyramid. But if they say you go closer to it, you start losing your finger and toenails, and some people die because of the radiation. Mount.
I'm looking at it.
Who knows?
Mount Who Knows. That's a good mountain. We gotta clear up some things though here. You say that you believe that there's aliens living in the bottom of the ocean, and there's aliens that are just like chilling there for most of their life.
They could have built like an Atlantis underwater.
But then why don't they leave every once in a while? If they're sophisticated,
their resources are here too. We don't own this planet.
Why? If they have sophisticated enough resources to build an Atlantis at the bottom of the ocean, why wouldn't they just come up and take us over and then just conveniently?
Because they don't need to. Because aliens,
of course, they don't need to. But oh my god,
other species are. What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Get socked.
I know.
Sorry.
You getting emotional?
Yes. My voice is going to start cracking. I'm trying to not have it happen. Now I lost what I was saying, you asshole.
What? You were saying, but we got to clear up some things here.
We're going to clear up some things here. There's enough room here on this world for more than just us. So if they don't want to, they know that humans can't even get along with each other. So why the fuck are they going to try to like even
they would just take us over. They wouldn't connect
But maybe they don't think like that. Maybe they're not assholes like we are. Like, oh, we could take over other.
But they're living in Atlantis. I think you're thinking of another Marvel movie.
No, I think that they could probably have their
like Wakanda forever.
Didn't you say that the water is like how much is the water in the world compared to
percentage?
We're like what, 90%?
It's 80% water.
Yeah, so we're 80% water.
Yes.
I mean, think about.
But hold on, just because there's a possibility, because there's so much
miles and miles of other.
Okay, but we got to clear things up here. You said you believe. Is it you believe in the possibility, or you believe that there is
possibility? Okay. I would say. If you're asking like how high my possibility is from 1 to 100, I would say 90%.
Wait, but we're not. There's a distinction: possibility versus like. Do you believe? What's the percentage where you believe that it is a fact that there is alien life forms somehow civilized in the bottom of the ocean that aren't coming up, even though it's been tracked? We haven't stumbled on it. And there's I know there's vast amounts of ocean that is still murky in terms of us discovering areas, but I think we've charted a lot. It's just from time to time what's the percentage where you believe it is a fact that there is alien life forms at the bottom of the ocean?
I think it's high.
That it's a fact?
High.
But based on what evidence?
I don't think that we really need evidence.
But why don't we need evidence?
I'm just saying like it just seems like it would be like, I don't know, it's a feeling.
But I could say there's an elephant with 10 horns.
Okay. You could say that.
And
I could say what I just said.
But then it doesn't make it a reality. Like you could believe in the possibility, but to say that you're 90% sure that it's a reality without
I didn't say sure. I'm just saying that it's a possibility.
I think we need evidence of that.
Okay.
I think before we just start speculating that
I think that there's been
Namor.
I know that there's been spacecrafts that have come out of the water.
Yes.
There has been civilizations for thousands of years that have seen them. There's been natives that have seen things like crafts like this. When we saw one, not us, but like just in our generation, they talked about the ones by Catalina. So like, I think it's a high possibility.
I don't know about high. It's like, I think more than likely they're not set. Even if you believe that, because there is some evidence, like with the San Diego sighting, the Tic Tac, there was speculation that it could have dipped in the water and stuff like that on those most recent batch of documented UFO findings. That it dipped in the water possibly and it got out. I think there's possibility and capability. If a spaceship can come from fucking light years away, they're probably going to be able to get wet, right? For fuck's sakes, our phones are waterproof now, so I can imagine that they have the capability to go in water as well. But that doesn't lead me to believe that they go down and then they're setting up shop completely and they really never come up except for
I think
very few
for me,
isolated.
I look at it as like we're not advanced enough to like go in the depths of the ocean.
We have been in the depths of the ocean.
All the way to the. I thought like our ears could pop. Like if we
Well, they have those
jumped too
vessels
deep.
where we basically got to the abyss, but it's like this crazy. We don't go that often because it's very expensive, but we can get pretty deep down, like basically to the bottom of the ocean.
It's so crazy, but
Yeah.
you couldn't do it.
No, I would get so claustrophobic. Like 5 minutes in, I was like, we took that one
Did you
Hawaiian
ever see that
submarine
movie? Was
ride.
it called The Abyss? Fucking
Yeah.
from the 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good movie. It was scary as fuck. I watched that as a kid.
Yeah. Like 5 minutes. Like we took that in Hawaii. We took that submarine, and I didn't want to say it because we were pretty early on, but I was freaking out. I was not very comfortable with it. I could take.
We weren't even deep. It was like Disneyland.
It felt deep. I could take Disneyland. That's the one I could be like, well, this
like,
is wigging me out a little bit. But no, we went way deeper than Disneyland.
We did?
Disneyland, if you look at the Disneyland submarine,
that was so long ago.
If you look up, if you go to the Disneyland submarines, you look up, you could literally see the top of the water wherever you are at in the ride. They never go down.
Yeah,
whatever. You're just on a fucking track.
I just think there are so many places in the world, including the abyss, including Antarctica, that we can't reach. That a smart civilization that just doesn't want to be bothered would go and live in these places if they could handle, the climates. And
it seems to me, it seems unlikely that they would set up permanent shop. And then
just like if you look at the ancient Sumerian texts of and like with the Anunnaki, like they used gold for their other planet.
Their mother from another mother.
And so maybe they have locations where they are, digging for gold.
It's a chain restaurant of gold digging.
Just like, what do they look for in Uganda forever? What do they have?
Vibranium resin.
The vibranium. I think so. Like, you see that in the ancient texts that they're always looking for gold. And I find it funny, like the gold rush. And it's funny how like something, if it is true that our ancestors are the Anunnaki, how we all still love gold, even though we're using it for a different reason.
Precious.
Yeah. But for them, it's precious because it's utilized in some way. We don't know how they use it, but they supposedly made us as human slave race to find it.
What is the? I mean, I don't know. What is the speculation behind gold? Like what makes them believe that there's this gold rush of aliens looking for gold specifically? What is the
Anunnaki? That's why they supposedly created humans.
Because they love gold or something like that.
So it's something to like. It's to me, it's like it's a similarity of like Wakanda Forever, because it's like maybe somehow the way that they utilize the gold, it's like a protection thing. Like,
we gotta get Georgie on, because I don't understand. I full disclosure, I don't understand what the speculation, what the evidence show, the reasoning they believe that gold was some source of energy. I'm sure they're going to say we don't know necessarily why gold is such an important source, because we're not that sophisticated. We're not that advanced.
Yeah.
But what was the reasoning why gold was specifically, why ancient alien folks started to believe that gold was like possibly
it was a way of survival. Something had to do with survival. And
I wonder what other than the fact that like there was an Anunnaki and there was like Egyptian pharaohs who were believed to like have like connections to the star children essentially, beyond their obsession with gold, because a lot of like fucking Louis the 14th was obsessed with gold, and I don't think he was anymore.
No.
So I'm wondering I'm not trying to discount it, but can we get Giorgio on to explain why they think gold is a resource?
Are you out there?
Oh, Giorgio's out there. He's probably upset with us for not going to Alien Con.
I know.
He's waiting for us.
We need to go back.
Well, we're gonna have to wait till next year at least, if it's still happening. Yeah.
Maybe get a booth there.
Maybe
what was that? Remember that question you were going to ask me yesterday with Clementine? I said, wait till the podcast, because she said, our daughter, like, I don't know where we're driving, or I don't know what the hell we're doing, but she's just like, she goes, Mommy, Do you like being a parent? Or is that what she said? What did she say?
She said, yeah, she asked because I think
we were frustrated.
You were fresh. You called someone an idiot, and she thought you called her an idiot. So she's like, you like being
Yeah, I had road rage. I was trying. She was running. We were running late, dropping her off to her dance class, and
roadrunner rage.
And I literally was just trying to like stop real quick, drop her off, put on my hazard so nobody would like come up my butt behind me, and someone of course did, and I like was like, I got like nervous because I knew I wasn't supposed to be parked there, so I was like, go idiot, and so her daughter tries to like open the door to get. She's like, okay, and I was like, not you.
I'm not an idiot.
And then afterwards, I had to explain it to her like what was happening, and she was running late for class, and I would never call her that because I genuinely would never call her that. But so then that led after that conversation, it led to what's it like being a parent or something. It was the way that she worded it it was hysterical. And then you asked me, and I was like, save it for the podcast. And our cat.
That's our cat. I'm gonna say it's your cat now because he's annoying me.
He's definitely my cat.
Was that literally the question I was gonna? What's it like being a parent? How's it like being a parent?
No, so then you were like, what's it like being a spouse or something like that? You said, what's it like being a wife?
What is it like? What is it like being married to me? How is it?
Unpredictable sometimes in a good way.
Why?
Because you're
I'm gonna shout.
You're gonna fart.
I'm gonna fart.
But you're so much fun.
Thank you.
You keep things fun, and I like that. And even when I'm like annoyed sometimes with you, it's like you keep annoying me until I smile.
So it turns around. Let's keep on.
You're like the cats. You just keep bothering me till you get your way.
If I could give one piece of marriage advice, folks, is that if your wife or your significant other, your spouse, is upset at you and is very annoyed at you, just keep going. And it's going to work out.
I think, no, it's going to work out if you genuinely love that person.
If it's like,
for me, it's like talking to like some of my clients are having some issues, and
we have a lot of like, we're getting at the age, I think we were going to talk about, anyway, sorry.
No, but I was saying like what I find different in my relationship, not saying ours is like perfect whatsoever.
No, nobody says life isn't perfect.
But
folks.
like
we've shouted at each other.
I think my advice that I've given people is like, we make time for date nights. We make time to do this. This is actually our date night tonight, guys. So thank you for tuning in and being a part of our date. But like I was telling people that it's because I genuinely like hanging out with you.
Aww.
Because I feel like if I didn't like hanging out with you, then I wouldn't be home very often.
You have to like it.
I would make excuses. I'm working late, or I would work like overtime and just keep booking people so I wouldn't have to come home as often. And you see that a lot in relationships that are failing, and it's really sad.
You have to want to be able to spend time with each other. It's just it's absolutely necessity. It's
and if you don't want to anymore and you've tried going to counseling, I should tell you something, because I mean, at the end of the day, like I feel like, I have like close friends or whatever, but I still feel like you're my best friend. I feel like you give me the most. I can like tell you anything. I could talk to you like you're one of the girls, and you're always like down for that.
Can we talk about your speaking of one of the girls, can we talk about how you're wonderful? You're wonderful, and you've got your car wrapped completely pink, and I'm driving around in a pink car.
That's love.
That is love.
Ladies.
And what did you want? You said,
and gentlemen that like pink cars. Find yourself one of those.
Just find yourself a husband who doesn't mind being domestic.
I knew he was the one. We went to New Orleans one year for Halloween, and I was like, and we like, I really back then we were like, so we have to have her so like freshly in love, and it was like our costumes have to like match and be cohesive, and I was like, if I'm Hello Kitty, will you be Keroppi? And he didn't even hesitate. He was like, I love Keroppi. And he like let me paint his face green. He like, I made him a beanie. He wore the whole outfit. He was having a good time with the homeless people. Like, we had a blast.
Yeah, you could.
So if you have a husband that will dress up like a Sanrio character for you, You know he's down.
Yeah, but that's the only one because all the other Sanrio characters suck.
Oh my god,
Karopi, that
we have to
guy
tell
is
you
a
about.
shit. Like that guy fucks.
I
Sure.
think it was our first Halloween together,
Mm-hmm.
and that's also probably when I knew he was the one. We are 80s babies, 80s, 90s babies. We were born in 82. And so
Secrets.
in the 80s, like the big show was Thundercats. And like I was like, what costume hasn't been done? Like we should totally do this. And this is before there's Pinterest, before there's Google to look up pictures and all this stuff. So I like I remember your makeup came out so good, but I wasn't a good seamstress. I sewed this motherfucker
right?
into. I remember I found this blue. It was a tablecloth. I cut it out and kind of measured it, and I sewed him into the outfit. And he was totally like, it's a blue leotard. We got to post it on our social media so you guys could see like the outfit that he wore.
It was insane.
And he totally rocked it all night. He wore his, like, I think it was it white tights or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he was Lionel, one of their like cat humanoids. And then I was Katara.
I don't remember the characters.
Katara.
Can I be honest with you?
That was fun. You didn't like it?
I don't remember 1 minute of the show Thundercats. I know there's Lionel.
You used to watch it though, because I know
I used to watch it.
I was gonna say when we thought about being those for Halloween, you were like, yeah,
because it's Thundercats. They had swords and they're dressed like cats. I love swords with cats with swords or swords with cats.
Well, I don't really remember the episodes either, but I remember the premise. There's the Skeletor, right? We know that's He-Man.
That's He-Man. See,
oh my god,
you don't even fucking remember.
Oh my god, there's so many shows.
Nobody remembers the theme, the actual like.
I know the theme
plot
song
of Thundercats.
Do you remember the theme song?
Yeah.
Gummy
bears dancing here and there and everywhere. These are the gummy bears.
Anyways, good times. So we really I think you have to just really be open-minded. And that's the thing too, we're like teaching our daughter, you need to find somebody that's down like that. Because when we travel together, we're very much like, he knows I love to shop. And he's always, well, you do that now, but he always was like when we went to New York for the first time, was like, changed. Okay, let's go to Soho, like doing all the fun stuff that I wanted to do.
I'm still there, but
yeah, but you don't complain because and then it's like I take that into consideration and I'm like, okay, well, what are we going to do for you now? And so it's always in a relationship, that's what it's always been about with you. And I feel like that's what makes us strong, because it's not, always like take.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know how this is just getting on a marriage counseling course here. You're welcome, everyone.
And
you should be able to fart in front of your husband like I'm going to right now.
Or on live stream. Either way. I'm such an old man. I was like, here on live television. That's not a thing. Hey, I want to ask you something because I don't think I've ever asked you. What is your? So we've talked about percentages. What is your percentage of? We already talked about like your percentage of like aliens living in the bottom of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
What is your percentage of belief in ghosts in general? What's the percentage that you believe ghosts exist?
It's more like my response isn't going to be a number. Can I elaborate on my response?
No, just a number. No, go ahead.
Okay, so like I get a little bit confused with the whole ghost thing, because sometimes I wonder if it's like another dimension, like if it's like people coming over and visiting from like another dimension. So they're not like, maybe to us they're ghosts, but in a sense they're almost like aliens.
They're trapped in it's parallel universe type of
bullshit. Yeah, that's kind of like, what I think about, like I it's like I want to believe in them, but sometimes I don't know, my mind kind of wanders in that direction too.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's actually kind of harder for you, because I feel like it should be harder for me, and I don't know about ghosts. I like the idea. I love ghost stories. Do I
Same.
believe ghosts exist? I don't fucking know. Don't ask me. Ask a ghost expert. That's a ghost
I think the
expert.
hard one is too, like, you hear, like, I've, like Marin, shout out to Marin, like, she's told me at her house, she sees this guy, like, she'll like, when she's, like, in her kitchen, like, doing dishes, like, she looks out her kitchen window, and she will see it's almost like from the corner of her eye, and, he's kind of, like, smoky see-through as, like, you would think a ghost would
It's
be,
kind of sexy.
and she says that, like, he, like, walks by and disappears, and she sees him doing the exact same thing. He's wearing, like, an old-timey hat. She says, I can guess there was, like, oil wheels or something. She said it looks like a kind of like a worker like that. That's kind of where I get confused because I'm like, why if there were ghosts, why are they on hooks? Like, why are they doing the exact
Like an
same thing?
animatronic at Disneyland.
Yeah, it's like they're trapped, and that doesn't make sense to me.
Do you think that kind of thing is like
It's
part
like
of
a
our human
complete
psychoses?
anomaly.
Because I
Well,
see
her husband's
recurring
seen it
things.
too.
Oh, really?
That's yeah,
You know, those are people we can verify to have on. We need to have them on to discuss this, to pick their brains, to make sure that they're not lying to us. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. And I feel like for you it'd be easier because you believe in like spirits and like heaven and hell and purgatory. So the idea of a spirit is like whoop, like, and it could get stuck in rotation or whatever. But it's harder for me to reconcile what those things are. I know there's just some stuff undiscovered, and I know
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when we did that drug and we did did we ever talk about this on the episode?
yeah, spice
We
or
did. We talked about it.
Diablo or yeah.
Well, it kind of reminds me of that because like when we did this stupid drug that our friend made,
It's not stupid. You're
um,
stupid.
like it was beyond the
No,
most
it was
horrible
dumb.
thing in my life. I thought my heart was gonna
Yeah.
jump out of my chest.
No,
But anyways, it was like that. What I was talking about, like when people see ghosts doing the same thing. It's like everything was happening. You walked by me and you fell flat on your face, and then it was like a loop. It kept happening and it kept happening and it kept happening, and I thought I was stuck in this place. And I was like, am I just this is where I'm gonna be the rest of my life? I keep watching my husband walk by and fall on his face. Like, and I just felt like I was gonna have a heart attack. Um, like like that's the only thing I can like compare it to. And that's why it makes no sense to me that like sober people and this isn't just our friends that are talking about this. This is like you hear stories like this all the time. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like why is this apparition like in this like it's like a hook and it keeps happening over and over again. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I really don't get it either. It's bizarre. You know what I've been thinking about lately? One of the things that's been popping up into my head
Hmm.
like lately, it just speaks to my brain, is that I've been thinking a lot about death and the
Happy
I
thoughts.
the yeah. It's death in Disneyland. That's what I've been thinking about lately.
That's a
Um
good metal band.
sometimes um
Death in Disneyland.
yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
The the logo for the band would like be a melting Mickey. That'd be awesome. But I've been thinking about like that. I've had like a great fear, reoccurring thought and fear that like, what if when you die, like as me being much less religious than you are, like I'm like, what if this just cycle, that same cycle when I've had really bad acid trips or whatever,
I thought you were gonna say when you had really bad Asperger's. I was like, "Oh, when did you have that?"
it's still happening.
I was like, "I knew it."
No, but what if that is part of death, is for what feels like, a 10-year loop of that, like a death spiral that's just like you can't get out of that hole.
Like if you died a horrible death and you had to like relive that. Like those what if
Just not even death, like, and there's always that one of the most terrifying things, because I do have this like, what if I was more productive worlds? Like one of my biggest fears is like you always hear about like the people seeing their life cycle through, like their life flash before their eyes, and it's like a movie, like it's a long experience. And to have that, like maybe I should have done that, maybe I should have done that. Like I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Like, and it's fucking terrifying me. Like what if death is not either just a blackout and you're done, or it's like you go up to heaven or hell in the judgment? What if it's like this long fucking Lord of the Rings size, like fucking film series, like, and you're going through all your trials and tribulations, and it's just a cycle. And you want to get off the ride, but there's no getting off the ride because the ride's already set.
Mm,
Once you're dead, there's no resetting that
that's
ride.
deep.
It's fucked me up. It's fucked me up. I can't do it. This is why we.
I mean,
Sorry.
I don't know. I mean, it's pretty deep.
What if we're all in a death spiral and you have to watch it over again when you die?
Well, I mean, it would make sense because I personally, when like my childhood mentality of going to hell was that they're continuously burning like in lava.
Oh God.
That's what I thought hell was.
What did they teach you at school? Like, what was like I know, like, I feel like with hell, they like allow children's imagination to run wild, but they never, no, there's no, like, there's always a lesson. I mean, there's obvious reasons why, but there's always a lesson on heaven, and it's like candy and stuff like that, and it's great. But there never was like a detailed, like a nun never sat you down like, this is what hell is, folks. It's like fire. You're gonna go down an escalator, and there's gonna be a fiery lake here, and you're gonna take a left, and it's gonna, like, there's never like a big description. Is there a description of hell in the Bible? Do we know?
The only thing that I have gathered like is that like there's a lot of flames and you're basically the slave to Satan.
Yeah.
And that could mean so many things because like what if like you were saying what if like you're on this roller coaster like living like your worst nightmare, but like what if it was like horrible than that? What if you had to go to earth back, to like purgatory, our land or whatever, and you just had to kill children and you were the slave to Satan, so you didn't have a choice. You had to do this. There was like no getting out of it, you
Yeah.
know? Like so like to me, like I think maybe hell is something like that. What would be the worst horrible event imaginable in your brain? Like maybe
So you're
yours would be
forced to do
yours
terrible
would
acts.
be like going to the abyss.
That's the thing. Like with my claustrophobia, I think
Yeah.
about not just like going to hell, but like, what if death, that process of death,
Mhm.
is claustrophobic and it scares the shit out of me? What
Well,
if it's a
you just better
claustrophobic feeling?
you better make sure you dead when they bury you, because
Fuck, man.
you
I'm not
waking
gonna
up
fucking sleep tonight.
just like what was it? What was
God
that?
damn it.
Was it in the 1800s where they were burying people?
Yeah, the phrase "Saved by the Bell," which is a show that was
Oh, yeah, we
around
did
when
an
we were
episode
young,
on that.
and there's a reboot. I don't know if there are people watching it, but
Mhm.
"Saved by the Bell" was literally, if you could afford a fucking little string of bell, you'd buy it because you could ding ding. I'm not dead, guys. But that's also relying on fucking people hanging out in the graveyard, like listening for bells, right?
Mhm.
That would be the shittiest thing. Like, you're just like, you bought the bell, but then there was nobody to answer it when you fucking, oh, what a shitty feeling.
Or maybe you woke up at 12 midnight and the guy's shift was over.
Oh, you like ring the bell at 12:01 and he's out
And
at
then they say they
12.
would open the coffins and there'd be scratch marks. Like people
Yeah,
couldn't even
people would.
scratch.
So people would like, yeah, people would.
Like, can you like put like a wrench in there with me and a drill?
and
then you just would
and
get
a shovel.
But then you would just could you even climb
I don't
out?
think you could. The pressure. I don't know if you could.
You would, yeah, I think feel like you would suffocate on dirt.
This is nightmare.
You
fuel
couldn't
for me.
push those daisies up.
You'd be making daisies with your fucking
Mhm.
maggot food. Yeah.
So that would probably be your hell.
Oh God.
Mine would be
I'm gonna go to
would
church.
definitely be harming children. That would probably be the most
Wait, you think I'd rather be stuck in a hole than hurt children? How
well,
low
I'm
do you think
saying
I
I
am?
wouldn't mind being stuck in a hole as much as you
Is
would
it
be.
what you think about? Is it what you constantly think about, like, as bad?
I'm just very paranoid. Like I feel like I'm way paranoid
the
with our daughter.
worst-
I'm always like, where she? Like she's turned the corner, and I feel like way more than you're like, babe, like calm down. I'm like, where is she? Like I'm like that's like my fear is that like protecting my child.
So you're saying that maybe it's like basically whatever you think it like pops in your head as like the
Could be
worst
the
case
worst,
scenarios.
yeah.
That's what.
Mhm.
So for Jared Fogelness of Subway, it's probably like fucking grown adults. It's probably his hell. I watched a documentary on Jared. You remember
What do you
Jared?
mean? Is he a molester?
You didn't know that?
I don't. Maybe you did tell me. I don't know.
Whoa! So
He was the
Jared,
guy from the
the
supposedly
guy
lost
who
weight
said I
from-
ate Subway sandwiches and lost weight
Yeah.
miraculously.
He's in prison, right?
He's in prison because he got convicted of child pornography, and like he had an assistant. I watched the documentary on him, and it was fucked up. He had an assistant who would facilitate like young teenage girls, and he would have him videotape it, and then he would like that was his. Ugh, that guy's got a warm place in hell for sure.
I feel like, yeah, that's you know what pisses me off. Like, I think people that are child molesters shouldn't get out of jail and just be certified sex offenders. I think they should stay in prison. That's my opinion.
Well, I mean, there should be definitely like I feel like I'm with you on the concern like that there should be because like it feels like just putting them on a fucking list on a website list is not sufficient, right? Wasn't there times when you would have to literally like go knock on your door?
Mhm.
Like they would have to
It should still be like that.
I'm a pedophile, everybody.
Yeah.
Like you should like there should be more because I think
remember when we first moved here, we saw the I still remember his face.
yeah, but the thing is, like, when's the last time we've checked it? Like,
But we had
do they have to?
There could be
like,
one behind us.
Do you have to send like a letter? Like, how does that work? Like, I feel like we should know more.
There used
about
to
that.
be. I don't even think it's as. I think it's gotten a lot lax. I think, yeah, people are getting off the hook a lot easier.
I guess. Well, the good thing is that there's not as much cover up because I feel like back in the day, like if you got like if you were a victim of that, like there was a decent chance that the family would just cover it up for shame.
Oh, there's a lot.
The
problem is like
luckily it's more out in the open. Like people are actually getting caught and convicted.
A lot of people also play the fact they could use the fact of mental illness to get out of it. And that's where it gets like complicated.
But just because you have mental illness doesn't mean we're not allowed to be protected from you, right? Because if there's wires that are misconnected and you think about children
don't
in that
people
way,
get away like with even killing because of mental illness? Because that's how.
There's like not guilty by way of insanity, but you still have to like you're in a mental facility instead of a jail. Is how I understand it.
How do I see you again in my camera?
My camera's done. Oh, yeah, I don't know how that happened.
That's so weird. I was like, go away.
Thank you.
Well, I guess we could both see you.
Whatever. My camera's been dead for a while.
That's fine. No, I fucked mine up.
Just like my soul, people. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think that
you're so dumb.
The 7 layers of hell, do you think it's really like tiered off like for the worst versus like are the doubters their doubters
like
are not
7 layers of heaven too, so I don't fucking know about that.
Just like Taco Bell, isn't there 7-layer burrito in Taco Bell?
And 666 isn't even supposed to be something bad.
What?
Yeah, look it up.
I mean, I don't.
That's like it's actually.
You freaked out once because I got a 666 on my cup. It was like
I'm telling you, but I always see numbers in
oh
threes.
My God,
I see numbers. I see numbers in threes a lot. I see mostly 333 though, and that's a good sign. So
isn't that supposed to be evil too?
333?
Yeah, isn't like the that's like the witching hour, like at 3:33. That's when like the death is most open or whatever.
Don't say that. Google it.
Hold on,
you're freaking me out now.
What is the original?
No, 333 is supposed to be good. It's like what I read. It's like a transition in your life. It's like transformation, like you're growing. It was all positive stuff that I had read because I started getting worried that I was seeing it so much. Because I did think somebody. Excuse me. I did think that somebody was trying to connect with me from. No, things moving again.
Because I'm typing furiously.
Why isn't this like locked in here? Does it lock in?
The angel number. Okay.
What is?
Because it's just half of 666. No, 333. The number 3 is associated with growth across the board.
I told you.
Whether it be spiritual, personal, or financial growth. Seeing the angel number 333 means this is your time to expand. Whatever that means.
There's like
Are
a
we ever going to do an episode
transformation.
on numerology?
Sure.
Do you believe in numerology?
Not really.
I have a tough time with numerology.
Yeah, I don't really.
I believe in coincidences and I believe in fixations. I believe that things keep showing up. I don't know the reason why, but I do know, like, we place the meaning on numbers as markers, I think, but I don't know.
Well, for you, you always, when I first met you, always saw 645.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't necessarily think that is. I don't know I don't know if there's some grand meaning behind that, or if it's some number I associate it with, and it's just I don't know what it means, but I don't pretend that we can crack that code. To 6 is, it symbolizes this, and 4 symbolizes that, and 5 symbolizes that. So therefore, blah blah blah. I don't know if we have that capability to crack simple numbers.
Well, you know what's trippy is that one of my clients, when her mom passed away, her mom said, because like you said, it's the angel, it's the angel sign.
Your personal 333 story.
Yeah. So she said, if you see a 333 after I pass away, that's me coming to you. And so on occasion, my client would see the 333, and she shared that story with me. And I lost touch with this client for quite some time. And then I started seeing the 333s. And the first few times I didn't think anything of it. But when I started seeing it, not like, oh, it's 333 in the midday or whatever. When I started seeing it like on billboards, on trucks that were driving by, I started freaking out. And so I had reached out to her, go, hey, just checking in with you. I keep seeing these threes and I want to make sure you're okay. And come to find out, her grandma also had passed away. And her grandma was like, thought me and you were the coolest thing when she met us and loved us, had us send her Christmas cards every year. The most adorable older lady. And so I felt like grandma was connecting with me because her granddaughter, she was worried about her granddaughter, and her granddaughter was going a lot because she had just lost her. And so I reached out to her, I said, look, I know this is weird, but I'm seeing all these threes. And I keep trying to ignore them, but it's been weeks now. And I just wanted to touch in with you and let you know, see if everything's okay. And then she had told me her grandma died. And I just was like, oh my gosh. She's like, it was my grandma. She's like, you've always had that sixth sense. And she's like, I believe she's connecting with you, Brianna, to maybe connect with me. And I don't think, this particular or client would admit it, but I think that she was depressed and going through some stuff. And I think grandma was contacting me to check in with her to make sure she was okay. So I believe in that kind of stuff, and I think it's really interesting how, if it was a coincidence, what a blessed coincidence that was for me to be able to reach out and then go to lunch with her just to make sure, her, aura was okay with everything that just happened with losing her grandma.
Yeah, and and there's always the things that makes me the most curious about ghostly visions is always the ones, and it might be psychologically how our brain works. When we lose someone, we tend to have these burnt images of them, and so we see them in our sleep, and they visit us. But these experience where someone either is passing on, about to pass on, just recently died, and they visit, those are the things that those trip me out. Those give me goosebumps, because I'm just like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an actual ghost. I'm sure people have their theories on it, but it's just even the idea of us having this almost ghostly photograph of the people we love, and they visit us one last time for one last kind of touching image, because it's never it's never someone's about to die, like your Gma or whatever, and they visit you, like, you didn't fucking take out the trash 3 weeks ago. It's always this touching moment of a goodbye. And I don't know if it's psychologically how our brains work, as we need a goodbye. Whenever we don't get a goodbye, we manufacture it by seeing a spirit,
Yeah.
and it's like a photograph in our mind. but it's so touching to have that goodbye we don't always get.
Yeah. And that's, I think it probably made my client really happy, knowing that maybe that was her grandma reaching out to her, kind of letting her, maybe she was thinking about it a lot, letting her know she was okay. And then there's been like feelings that I've just gotten. Like, I don't know if you remember, like when my grandma was going to pass away, it was like you and Clementine were having the best day. It was like a Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, we were just having a Sunday fun day, driving around, running errands. And this like like rush of something, emotion just came over me. And I was just like, I have to go visit my grandma right now. I said, I have to go right now. I said, you know, you don't have to go in. You could just drop me off or I could take you home, but I have to go right now at this moment. And later that night, and then you even were like, what's the big deal? We can go see her tomorrow. And I said, no, I'd have to go tonight. Remember that?
Yeah.
I was like, I have to go. And she died that night. So we were the last ones to see her before she died. And it was just like, and I just mourned and cried over her because I felt it. And I don't know if it was like my grandpa coming in and giving me some kind of, I don't know, telepathic like ability, but I just felt it. And I have no regrets because I'm so happy that, you know, I got to pray over her and hear her last words. And, you know, so I don't, so that's why I'm like, I feel like, you know, the ghosts like are just in another realm and they're still able to connect with us, but I just don't understand what the ones that are on the hook,
The loop,
you know, yeah,
on
the
the loop.
loophole.
Well, what I don't understand, it makes a lot of sense to me that if there is spirits that exist, that you are somehow, what do they say, that point eight? What's the spirit way? What's the, like, the body automatically loses how much weight when you die, right? Besides you likely shitting yourself. What? Sorry.
You're definitely gonna shit yourself when you die.
Oh yeah.
Can you fart when you die? Do you fart when you die? Because if you did, like at your
This is
funeral,
I now
it would be loud.
sorry, I gotta Google that now. There's only one thing I can Google now. Do you fart when sleep? Of course you do.
You definitely do.
Okay.
Your farts are so bad that you fucking wake yourself up when you fart when you're sleeping.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so we're gonna play a game live and in person here.
Oh,
Ready?
lordy. Okay.
So, have you ever seen that game? Don't look.
I'm not looking.
Have you ever seen that game that celebrities play it and then they finish off their Google searches like, is, you know, Tom Cruise? And they were like, I think it's going to be as Tom Cruise
Who?
young or whatever. So you're going to finish off this Google search by popularity. So
Okay.
do you fart when? What do you think the next? When do you think the next? What do you think the most popular finisher on that one is?
Poop.
Die.
Laugh.
Die is first. So we got that first. Stop king.
I didn't. No, I was just like, so you're saying that was the top one?
That was the top one.
So most people look that up?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Second most popular. Do you fart when you
laugh?
What do you think? No.
Poop.
That is number 1, 2, 3, 4.
Cry.
Nope, not on the list.
You fart when you hiccup.
Nope, not on the list.
You fart when you shit wasn't on there? Poop is
Need to poop is number 4.
You fart when you are under anesthesia? I think
That's a good one, but
that's
no.
a good question.
No. You want to know that? You want to know the list?
Yes.
So number 1 is, do you fart when you die? Number 2 is, do you fart when you sleep? Number 3 is, do you fart when you have appendicitis? I don't know. Do you next one you guessed is, do you fart when you need to poop? Next on the list is, do you fart when you have a colostomy bag? So
oh no.
The next one is, do you fart when you pass out? Do you fart when you're dead? That's a little redundant. Do you fart when you pee? I don't know why I think that's so funny.
My mom.
Oh yeah. Your mom got blitzed on the cruise. Sorry if it's gonna get
she had the best time.
She had a good
old
time. She had
oh my God.
And the last on the list is, do you fart when you have a heart attack? A lot of this is like, am I gonna be embarrassed when this happens? Like, am I gonna blow ass when I die or have a heart attack or pass out? It's a lot of it.
If you're dead, who cares?
So, do corpses release gas? This is a process known as putrefaction.
Oh my god!
As they feed on our tissue, the bacteria expel gases like methane and ammonia. They create the bloating frequently seen in abdomen.
Metal and methane.
You'll when you die, this is, and we're gonna do an episode very soon about mysterious things that happen to famous corpses after death. I'm very excited about that episode. Tune in whenever that happens. So apparently you fart out of just every fucking orifice when you die. So there's your answer.
Speaking of new episodes, we're gonna have some guests pretty soon too.
Yeah, we're hoping.
Which are fun to mix up the dynamics a little bit. It's all gonna be true facts and things that have happened.
Well, I mean, we could invite some liars on there
with ghosts, and like paranormal stuff, which I think is really cool. To hear people's stories, because it's one thing like we hear from the grapevine, but I just love, like, it just gets me so excited.
Yeah, I love a good party episode. We don't have enough party episodes. Well, I'm crazy too.
In different fart ways.
In different tootin' ways. Well, this has been an episode of Extra Mode Podcast. My name is Christoph. Alongside me again is Brianna. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you give us a like, subscribe, give us good stars if you like us. Follow us on all the social medias. We're all over the place. Twitter, Instagram, I think technically Facebook, but if you go on there, I don't know, enjoy the Wild West. We're on TikTok again, like I said, Instagram, Twitter, until it burns down. I don't know when that's going to burn down. And YouTube, make sure you get notifications, all that stuff. extranormalpodcast@gmail.com if you want to email us. Let us know if you've had any paranormal experiences. Let us know what your greatest fear of fucking death is. Let us know it all. And thank you so much for listening.